Have you ever felt that your social skills just fell off? You've been in the flow and you usually are in this social flow. You're capable of speaking to people. And then it just drops off and you just feel awkward. Well, that is the case if you don't maintain your social skills. Because like the gym and building a nice physique, you have to, at the very least, maintain it. Because if you stop going to the gym, you're not gonna have, those muscles will eventually just fade away. And the same thing goes with this, that you need to always keep it up, the social skills part. And this became painfully obvious back in middle school. Because, yeah, I had some friends during the school days, like during school we could talk, we could do fun things. But during the holidays, and especially during the summer break, I didn't have many people to talk to hang out with. And so I ended up, especially one summer, I ended up like spending the entire like 2-3 months not hanging out with anybody. So when I came back after the summer break, I was so awkward. I could barely speak to anyone, and holding eye contact longer than like one second was just too much for me. And it took me, I believe it must have took like a month to get back to some kind of level of decentness, because it was hard. And especially in middle school, like, it's brutal, and you probably know this. Kids start to hit puberty left and right. Some don't, some do. There's such a huge difference between kids, and it's so toxic in a way. That was my experience of it. Just a toxic environment in middle school. And so if you are shy, if you can't speak, you're gonna get grilled for that. And this kind of was a problem for many of my years in school. Even in high school, when I came back after the summer, yeah, I had met some people, had done some fun things, but the rest of my classmates, they had been abroad, they had like been hanging out every single week and multiple days per week, and I was lucky if I could hang out with a friend like once a month, if even that. So it was always this thing. And then after Christmas break too, when I came back, I just couldn't speak to people. It was so difficult. I felt so awkward. The words just wouldn't come out of my mouth, and when they came out, they were so awkward. It's just like mind-mouth connection. It's like when you think, if you have zero response time, it's like an instant. What you think, you speak. And usually we think something and we speak almost immediately. That's when it becomes natural. But once you start to think in between here, that you come up with something you want to say, but you start to overthink it, you start to delay it, you start to add a few milliseconds or even seconds of response time, that's when it's going to come out very awkward out of your mouth. And that was the case for me. Every time I said something, it was so awkward. So like the main point here is that we need to maintain our social skills. And this shouldn't come as a surprise. I mean, that's the thing with most things that are worth keeping, that are valuable, like skills. But even things such as a marriage, like I'm not married, obviously, but I've heard that a common mistake people do is that once they get married, they assume that they won the race, and now they can just kind of like, they can take a chill. Because all their lives they were looking for this one person to marry and start a family with, but then it's kind of it's been achieved. So what else is there to do? And that's when you start to get comfortable in a marriage, and that's when it often breaks down. You don't care as much for your partner anymore. You stop buying her flowers. You stop taking her out for dates. You may not look after yourself in the same way because you got your wife now. Like, no reason to go to the gym, right? And we accept that this is the thing for the gym, but we have such a hard time accepting this for other areas of our lives. It's like, why do I have to? I hear this all the time with meditation. It's like, why should I start to meditate if I have to keep it up every single day? Like, if I miss a week, I'm gonna be like at square one again. But that's life. The things that we want to have, we have to continuously work on them. We cannot stop. And the analogy here that I want to use is the stock market. So in the stock market, the way to make money, unless you're betting on some kind of very volatile stock, the general rule is that you place your money and then you let the interest take care of it. That year by year you get interest on interest. So the first year you might invest $100, and then you're gonna get, let's say, 10% interest on that. So then you have $110. You got $10 on your investment. And the next year you're gonna get interest on your interest and not just on the initial investment. So then your sum is gonna be $121 because you gained now $11, interest on interest. And it's actually another common analogy on this analogy, the snowball effect. That's how it's described. That you have this small snowball that you start to roll down the mountain, and then it starts to pick up speed and increase in size. And as it grows, it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger and goes down the mountain in such an insane speed. And that's, I believe, how avalanches start. It just ends up, this small snowball ends up becoming this huge thing. And so we have to maintain our social skills as with all other things in life, as we've learned. And by maintaining it and even improving it every single day, this snowball is gonna grow, become bigger, and it's gonna increase in speed in which it goes down the mountain. And so eventually, you should be motivated not just by the cat behind you, let's say, that hunts you, that, oh, if you don't keep up your social skills, you're gonna lose them. You should also be motivated by what's ahead of you, the she's. Because you're a rat, you have a cat behind you, a she's in front of you. You should also be motivated by the she's. You want the she's, you want the benefits of continuing to improve, of continuing to refine this skill. That is social skills. And eventually, once you do this enough, once you've done this enough days in a row, which could be any number, you're gonna start to notice changes inevitably. That you become so good at interacting with people. And you see in the way people treat you now compared to previously, it's night and day difference. It's almost night here, by the way, as you can see. So if we have these breaks where we go home for the holidays, we have a summer break, we need to find a way to maintain this skill. We need to go out there and talk to people and practice the social skills we've learned from books such as How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie and other books. We have to continue to have this dedicated improvement. That's the only way, because if we losing all which we've learned, it's just then we wasted so much time and effort trying to learn these social skills and then just letting it go to waste. It doesn't make any sense. It's very inefficient use of resources being time and energy that you spent on getting them. So I hope this was coherent enough that social skills is something we need to, at the very least, maintain. Otherwise, we're not going to have any social skills. And we should be motivated enough to keep on improving this skill. And keep the ball rolling. Just keep the ball rolling. Don't stop the snowball. Let it continue to pick up speed and increase in size as it goes down the mountain. Let the ball roll. Let it roll down the mountain. Keep the ball rolling. Finally, have a great rest of your day, rest of your night, and I will see you again soon.